Now at 6:30 on WKYT this morning, the nation is waking up to a tragic reality. A report this morning that 3 people are dead, 7 hospitalized after a shooting at a Louisiana movie theater.
And we're tracking the latest details after a motorcyclist was killed in an overnight crash in Madison County.
And Lexington police tell us a man was shot 3 to 4 times overnight and then showed up at a bar. We'll have the details ahead.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
It's Friday. Good morning and welcome into WKYT This Morning. A lot to tell you about as we head for the weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope your day is off to a great start. Our morning, a little bit of a tragic note, but, another movie theater shooting, believe it or not.
Scary, and we'll have some additional details that are just coming in about that in just a moment. Around here, the weather is going to be, hot, very, very summer-like. So let's check in right now with Micah. Good morning.
Finally feeling like summer, right? And look, good morning, guys. You're going to be looking outside. Check out these temperatures. Prestonsburg, 61 degrees. Look toward Frankfort, Mount Sterling. We're at 61. That is a really nice feel for this time of year. 65 now in Lexington. We get into the afternoon. We'll go from the 60s to the 80s pretty quickly. I mean, we'll jump rapidly due to the fact, well, we don't have any rain and very little cloud cover, too. At 87 degrees later on this afternoon. And you know what? That's not even close to the warmest temperature there in your 7-day forecast. I'll have some good news and some bad news in your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll wait for the good first. Thank you.
Oh, we're tracking a developing story out of Louisiana this morning. 3 people are dead after a gunman opened fire inside a movie theater in Lafayette.
And police say the gunman shot 9 people eventually before turning the gun on himself. 7 people were injured. Andrew Spencer reports some of them are in critical condition.
Today is a day that not only angers but also saddens all of us. This should never happen anywhere, but you certainly never imagined. We never imagined what happened in Louisiana, never imagined what happened in Lafayette.
A man inside a movie theater in Lafayette, Louisiana, pulled out a gun and opened fire. Police surrounded the theater only to later find the gunman among the dead.
We think he was alone. Just from eyewitnesses that we've interviewed already, no one reported seeing him sitting with anyone. He appeared to be by himself.
Police say about 100 people were at a screening of the comedy Trainwreck when the 58-year-old man started firing randomly. Alarms went off, and people in other movies say they were told to get out.
We were just watching the movie, and all of a sudden the sirens went off and the lights came on. When we walked around to the front of the theater, there was a woman on the front. She had been shot in the leg, I believe, and she was bleeding.
Among the injured, 2 teachers enjoying their last few days of the summer break.
They never imagined that their little outing would be interrupted by this senseless act of violence, this awful, awful tragedy.
Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal says one of those teachers managed to pull the fire alarm, helping other people escape even after she had been shot in the leg. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
And the details that come in continue to be disturbing. Police are not yet releasing the name of the alleged gunman. They called in the bomb squad after finding suspicious objects in the man's car. Now, the latest on this, of course, is coming up on CBS this morning at the top of the hour. Well, new this morning locally, we're tracking a deadly crash in Madison County.
Authorities say one man was killed after crashing his motorcycle on I-75 overnight near the Fayette County line. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us with the latest on the crash investigation.
Good morning, Rebecca. The man who was killed was riding with a group of other motorcyclists when the crash happened. Now, state police tell us that one person who did see the crash happen, they stopped to help the man, but were told that he died at the scene. Now, troopers tell us that the crash happened in the northbound lanes of I-75 at the Madison-Fayette County line around 1 o'clock this morning. The man was wearing a helmet. The coroner tells us they won't release his name until they have told his family what happened. According to state police, the man was thrown from his bike and killed after he did not round a curve. Investigators worked another fatal crash near the same spot at mile 97 on I-75 just last month.
We'd appreciate if any drivers coming through this area around the 97 northbound. This is a high collision area. Appreciate if slow down. That's the big reason for collisions.
Now, state police are not saying that they think that speed played a role in this crash. However, they do think that alcohol was involved at this time. Live in Madison County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Yeah, there is quite a curve there in the interstate at that point. We thank you very much, Mark, for the report this morning. New this morning, we have learned that a woman was killed in a Whitley County crash. That happened about 10:30 last night at the intersection of Kentucky 312 and Gordon Streets in Corbin. Authorities say a driver crashed into a pole. That driver has now been identified as 52-year-old Linda Reeves of Keevee. She was taken to UK Hospital where she died. The funeral arrangements for Reeves are pending.
A Clay County man has died after investigators say he was electrocuted while working on a home. It happened in the Bell Forks community. The Clay County coroner says 50-year-old Dwayne Brewster was helping the owner of the home level it when he came in contact with ground wires that had been pulled up. The coroner says the home had been damaged during recent storms. 2 people charged in connection to a deadly double shooting are scheduled to be sentenced today. Randall Burgess and Sherry Bratton are facing facilitation to commit murder charges for a 2011 shooting in Berea that killed musician Zach Flowers and injured Kevin Price. That case was sent to a grand jury. Brothers Matthew and Ryan Denholm were also charged in the case. Well, new this morning, a man is behind bars after police say he stole ribs and rolls from a Lexington Kroger. 25-year-old Angel Torres was arrested yesterday and is charged with first-degree robbery. According to court documents, Torres stole the food and fought with a man in the store on Tates Creek Road. He's scheduled to be arraigned later today. All right. New this morning, police say they found a shooting victim at a Lexington bar overnight. Yeah, officers were called out to Spud's Sports Pub just before 2 o'clock this morning, but they say the man likely was not shot there. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain joins us live from Pimlico Parkway with the latest on the investigation.
Hi, Rebecca. Yeah, police are telling me that the man entered the front door here at Spud's Tavern with multiple shot wounds. Overnight, this happened, and they're saying that right now he's in surgery at a local hospital. Police tell me that he was shot 3 to 4 times before entering the front door of the bar just before 2 in the morning. Someone inside the bar called police, and he was rushed to the hospital. Police don't know where the actual shooting took place. One witness did say they heard shots nearby. As the shooting victim, he did not cooperate with police on the scene and didn't say a word as to what happened early this morning. Police did say when he comes out of surgery, they will begin the interview process again. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Well, what police say started as an argument led to a wild chase in Boyle and Mercer counties, a kidnapping also aspect to this. WKYT was the only TV station there when it ended. Police say the suspect hit some police cruisers along the way before the chase ended somewhere behind a home on Shawnee Drive in Harrodsburg. Our news crews actually ended up right there in the middle of the chase. Deputies say it started on Perryville Road in Boyle County and lasted about 10 minutes.
At that time I made the decision that I didn't want him to get back out on the road. It's 5 o'clock traffic. There's a lot of people out. And so I just pinned his car between mine and the brick wall.
I do need to make a slight correction there. 10 miles, not 10 minutes. That's how long the chase went for. The driver took off running, and a different deputy shocked him with a taser, but he would not stop running, so a canine bit the suspect. He was arrested, but was first taken to a local hospital to be treated for dog bites. We're coming up on 6:40 on WKYT this morning, and police in Louisville are planning to charge a 15-year-old girl with murdering her newborn daughter. Officers say the teen gave birth while visiting her grandmother at Jewish Hospital. They found the infant wrapped in laundry. The mother was taken into custody. Police believe the baby girl was born healthy but suffered some type of trauma and died as a result. One child advocate who works at a Louisville hospital says the teen could have given the baby to hospital workers if she didn't want it.
They cannot drop it at the doorsteps. They have to give it to a person, and then anonymously they can just walk away.
Kentucky's safe infant laws allow anyone to surrender a baby less than 3 days old to medical facilities, police, or firefighters, no questions asked. Police are not sure if the teen knew she was pregnant before she gave birth. Very sad. New this morning, officials in Breathitt County say they made one of the biggest drug busts they've ever seen in recent years. Joseph Pennington and Zachariah Gross are behind bars facing meth-related charges. Deputies say they went to the home off Kentucky 30 West and found a safe with close to $8,000 inside. They say they found meth, marijuana, and pills.
The Laurel County Sheriff's Office arrested 2 men they say took apart 2 stolen trucks. Deputies charged 48-year-old Ronnie Davis and 53-year-old Timothy Fields with receiving stolen property, criminal mischief, evidence tampering, and destruction of a VIN number. The owners of both trucks reported them missing back in spring. When deputies found the truck, they say the VIN numbers had been removed. The trucks had been taken apart and the parts scattered. Deputies say they also found trailers, four-wheelers, and other items that may have been stolen. Let's get a check on traffic right now and see what is happening on the roads this morning.
Get you updated with Officer Don and a check on live drive traffic. Hey, good morning, Don.
Good morning, gang. No issues right now on Nicholasville Road. Just checked inbound Nicholasville past Man o' War, and we're in decent shape there. On the north side, inner loop of the circle, it's going to be just past Boardwalk. There's a 2-car non-injury collision. Not too much of an impact to get past that one. On our Waze map, we see live drivers on the way in this morning reporting we're mostly trouble-free. Interstate still looks good. It looks like very minimal problems there on the exit ramp from North Broadway to I-75, just a little back up at the bottom of the ramp. The exit ramp in Winchester Road's in great shape. And across the Claysbury Bridge coming in from Madison County this morning, normal traffic flow. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, everybody have a nice ride in. It should be good for that. And then the heat is on. It looks like later today and into the weekend. And much more news is coming up on WKYT this morning. We're so glad you're up and at it with us today.
Still to come, we'll tell you what some lucky day campers found while wading through waist-high mud in Nebraska.
And we're looking outside, holding on to temperatures there in the 60s. It is a really nice feel this morning. But not so much this afternoon and off into the weekend. It gets hot. I'll show you those temperatures. What about the rain chances, too? Comes up next.